Okay, so I just pulled my vacuum booster on my 2008 Chrysler Sebring. Sorry, my neighbor's dog is hanging out. The reason I did that is my master brake cylinder had been leaking into the booster. I didn't realize this at the time. I just knew the master brake cylinder was losing effectiveness. So I decided to change that. And two things happened. When I took the master brake cylinder off, I found the brake booster was full of brake fluid, which it is not supposed to be. That was from the leaking master cylinder. And also, I'm not sure how, but the piece that pushes on the actual piston of the master brake cylinder went cocked into the side there, into the lip. So it's basically ruined. And that's my fault. I'm not sure what exactly I did that cause it, but I'm certain I caused it because there's no way it was like that before. But I realized there's no guidance on pulling one of these. So what I did is I needed a lot of clearance to get it out, you know. So I just disconnected all of these lines on the opposite end and pulled them out of these little plastic pieces here where needed. Those pieces, you just can squeeze the lines out of there. They kind of squeeze together like some pliers or a screwdriver. I use my fingers on some of them because I'm a pretty strong guy. And now the booster is pretty easy. You just unbolt it from the brake pedal inside the car, and it actually doesn't even have a bolt. It has just a clip that holds them together, and then you take the 4 bolts out around there, and it's just really a matter of clearance on the engine bay. So now I'm going to go ahead and slide the new brake booster in, get all these brake lines reconnected on the master cylinder side. I mean, not on the I mean on the proportional valve side. And then honestly, the hardest part of this install is probably going to be getting those brake lines to thread back in without cross threading. I'm going to be very careful to make sure that they're going in by hand. But you can already see the one closest to me that's horizontal is it's cocked a little bit down and to my left, which tells me that one's not going to want to line up correctly, and it's just going to be a big pain. A lot of videos won't mention this. They'll try to act like it was just easy for them. No, dude, I'm probably going to off camera struggle for like an hour to thread that thing in. I'm going to be real. It's but you just got to wiggle it and just be real patient. Patience will save you a lot of money. And I'm gonna get that new booster in, and then I'm gonna have to bleed all the brakes because they're gonna be full of air. So I'm gonna start at the back. Well, no, I'll start at the front just because it's on the ramps right now, so it's very accessible. Just so I can make sure I have some front braking power at the very least. So when the car comes off the ramps, and then I'll probably lift the back up and bleed the back as well. So just if you're trying to figure out how to get the booster out, it's just held in by 4 bolts, and then it's held to the brake pedal on the inside with a little clip. It's real easy to take off, and then you just gotta move these brake lines out of the way by unbolting them from the proportional valve over there. Okay, the new vacuum booster's in. I forgot to mention that I did unbolt the computer from its spot to make clearance. That was one of the main things. I can't believe I forgot to mention that last video. New vacuum booster's in. I just kind of bolted in from the back and hook up the brake pedal. No problem there. It's possible that I'll need to make some adjustments to this nut, but I don't think so. It looks about the same adjustment as my old one, so I think it's gonna work just fine. This is a used OEM booster. It's not a brand new one. I know, judge me. I'm poor. This car's maybe worth $3 grand tops in the current economy, so I'm not gonna spend $600 freaking on a single part for it. Well, everything's back together. I had to get a new top for this airbox because I broke the clips on it. First one I broke a long time ago, and then I finally broke the other one while I was up in here. I'm letting the car run just to charge its battery right now. I wanted to have all the vacuum lines hooked up before I did. I don't know how big a deal it is to run it with that vacuum line to the booster unhooked. I feel like it's probably not a big deal, but I decided not to chance it, and I just I'm seeing a lot of signs of valve cover leakage on this car. It's not so severe that I'm gonna have any real problems, but there'll probably be something I address eventually. Probably when I get the new car, honestly. I'll probably repair the valve covers for a video before I sell it. I just don't want to tear into there right now just in case I screw something up. I don't want to be stranded. But yeah, all that's left now is to I'm just gonna fill this up to the top pretty much and then bleed it, because when I'm bleeding it, I'm gonna suck a bunch of fluid out. And then if there's still a little bit too much, I'll just suck it right out of the top with the vacuum pump. And then, yeah, she'll have her brakes back. This time I didn't fucking break anything. So, you know, you live and you learn. I had actually considered taking it to a shop to have them fix the shit I screwed up. But I said, you know what? Nah, I started this. I'm going to finish it. And so she's all buttoned up. Going to charge her up. Probably won't bleed her till tomorrow, honestly, because I'm just worn out. I don't feel like climbing under the car. But it's good to know that's all it needs.